Welcome to Boost. After indulging in some mud therapy, we take an underwater bike ride. We look at the secret to a healthy heart and go shopping for an adventure holiday. But first, for more than 50 years, the hula hoop has been one of the world's most popular toys. Now a South Korean company has reinvented the hoop, adding a 21st century twist. The Sing Sing hoop is made from a double layer of metal spring that brings the hoop closer to the waist and makes it heavier. Since this hoop is made of a double layer of spring and you can feel it wrap around your body, I feel like the intensity of the exercise is increased and it's fun. The makers of Sing Sing hoop also claim the hoop has acupuncture effects on the stomach and can alleviate digestive problems. I used to suffer from constipation, but after 3 days of using this, my condition has really improved. You can also use the hoop to exercise your whole body. The Sing Sing hoop has plastic rings that can be adjusted to change the hoop's length. The hoop can be stretched with both arms to relax the shoulder and back muscles, or wrapped around the knees to work the leg muscles. Sand or marbles inside the hoops intensify the twirls. The inventor of the Sing Sing hoop, Lee Hyung-rae, hopes to make it easier to twirl a heavier hoop. I thought about using a spring to free people of the inconvenience of putting other substances inside the hoop and allow them to feel the weight while it continues to wrap around their bodies. The Sing Sing hoop is now finding its way overseas. We've already sent samples to the United States, Japan, Australia, Europe, and as far as South Africa. At this stage, we've plans for business with international wholesalers in the first half of next year. A recent poll by the Ministry of Health and Welfare found that 44% of South Korean women over 30 were overweight around the waist. Lee and his trading arm manager, Lee Ki-young, believe the Sing Sing hoop will appeal to consumers all around the world. So keep an eye out for a Sing Sing hoop twirling near you. For thousands of years, Eastern cultures have turned to mushrooms for their legendary healing properties as well as their taste. And now Western-trained physicians are also taking a closer, more scientific look at the healing powers of mushrooms. Dr. Xia Chen and colleagues at the City of Hope in Los Angeles have been studying the breast cancer-fighting properties of the fungus. Chen has examined a number of different kinds of mushrooms to see if they inhibit estrogen formation. Abnormal formation of estrogen in postmenopausal women is considered as a risk factor for developing breast cancer. Chen says white button mushrooms could be beneficial.
Aromatase is the enzyme making estrogen. So therefore, the chemicals that has ability to suppress estrogen formation are thought to be useful agent to prevent breast cancer because estrogen play a very important role in breast cancer development.
Chen and colleagues identified 4 different mushroom extracts that inhibited about 50% of the activity of the aromatase enzyme in tumours removed from laboratory mice. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in women today. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1.2 million people will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year worldwide. Chen says knowing that substances in mushrooms slow down the production of estrogen could help women most at risk of developing breast cancer. Some might say a stressful day at work is best forgotten over a couple of pints down the local pub. Then there's the more sophisticated way of relaxing by giving oneself up to a professional massage. Now in Germany, pub punters can enjoy their pint and a thorough neck and shoulder rub. The concept came from Australia and has been established in major German cities like Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Leipzig, Cologne and Berlin. Neck attack massagers combine Swedish with Thai and shiatsu massage. I have to say that people take it incredibly well. There are always people who tend to be a bit skeptical as they cannot imagine to be massaged in a bar. So one sometimes has to convince people. But once you've encouraged them to actually try it, people are always really enthusiastic. We are working towards people being more accepting of massages. Clients are encouraged to pay whatever they feel like the little luxury treat is worth to them. According to Walter, most clients very much appreciate the massage, like Sven Sasteen. I think it's a great idea, as most people who come here tend to have had a really stressful working day. They come to the pub to relax, and it's ideal to have people massage you, and you are then able to put your own price on it. For massage novices, Neck Attack is a great way of approaching new ways of relaxation. It enables them to get a little taste of what benefits massage has to offer before choosing a particular item on the menu. It also encourages customers to let go of their inhibitions. It's surprising how confronting it can be for some people to allow themselves to be touched in public. Once they let themselves go, most customers thoroughly enjoy the luxury of being pampered for 5 to 10 minutes and are more than happy to pay between 5 and 10 euros for the privilege. Looking for somewhere to recharge your batteries and a little luxury? The Landmark Hotel in Marylebone, London was recently awarded the title of Hotel of the Year by the London Tourist Board. One of the last great Victorian railway hotels constructed during the golden age of the steam train, the Landmark was used as a hospital between the two world wars. 6 years ago, it was bought by its present owners and extensively renovated and refurbished. This work paid off with the prestigious Hotel of the Year award.
From a business perspective, the London Tourism Awards are vital. They don't just look at customer service and the things you see front of house. They look behind the scenes at how an organisation invests in its product, the staff training and development, how they try and gain repeat business. So it doesn't just look at the bedrooms and the furnishings, it looks at the whole organisation and the way it runs itself.
General Manager Francis Green says the multi-million-pound investment, which helped restore the Landmark to its original Victorian grandeur and added a magnificent new atrium, was well worth it.
Since we took over the hotel in August '95, we probably spent close to £4 million on various renovations and upgrades, and that's going to be followed by another £4 million coming and starting at the end of this month, which will go on for another 4 years. I mean, the costs never stop. We have a turnover in excess of 32 million, and we convert to about 47% of that down to profit. The bulk of our business is corporate individual travel, which represents about 54% of our business.
But quality doesn't come cheap. Rooms start from £265 a night plus tax, and the presidential suite will set you back more than £1,200. But you do get your very own fax machine. Coming up, mud therapy.
You might feel it now as you're just trying to pedal.
In their quest for better health, fitness buffs have taken their bikes for an underwater spin. At Crunch Gym in New York, wheels turn and muscles burn under the rippling waves of the club's pool. Hydro riding combines the cardio workout of a stationary bike and the fluid movement of aqua aerobics. The 45-minute class keeps feet spinning and arms pushing through the water.
Well, I liked being in the water, just able to cool off really quickly and just like nice natural resistance.
Crunch trainer Terry Herbert says hydro riders are constantly trying to stay upright on their bikes, so they develop tough stomach and thigh muscles.
You're in the water, so it's safer on your joints. You have less stress on your joints, less pressure, and you get a better workout because of the resistance of the water. So the faster you pedal, the more resistance you're going to get. 3, 2, sprint it out, 30 seconds, come on.
For aerobics fans who crave the pool but need a bigger challenge than water aerobics offers, hydro riding is just the class to dive into. Researchers have found links between depression, anger and stress and the development of heart disease in women. A study at the University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania looked at the link between traditionally recognized risk factors for heart disease, like obesity and smoking, and compared them with psychological risk factors such as anger and anxiety. In the 700 women complaining of chest pain, the psychological risk factors scored as highly as the physical risk factors, indicating occurrence of heart disease. Dr. Stephen Horowitz, a cardiologist at New York's Beth Israel Medical Center, says heart disease can no longer be considered a man's disease.
I think those principles are that whether a man or a woman has depression or hostility, the risk of doing things such as smoking or overeating or not exercising is increased, and also there are subtle biochemical changes that also increase risk.
And exhale.
Horowitz says a lifestyle change like relieving stress or quitting smoking can help, but only if the individual discovers what's causing her destructive behavior in the first place.
People first need to make a choice to be well. And until that happens, all the diets, all the books, all the literature, all the information in the world will not impact on how they live their lives.
Horowitz says if women concentrate on what's making them unhappy or angry in conjunction with dieting and exercising, they may be able to live longer lives thanks to their healthier hearts. A naturopathy center in southern India claims to have a miraculous cure for chronic diseases through its mud therapy. Located in the remote Kodlampati town of Tamil Nadu state, the centre attends to over 300 patients with chronic ailments every day. Patients who've taken years of modern treatment vouch for the efficacy of the therapy. Known as Man Kuliyal or mud bath, the therapy works on the principles of the Indian system of medicine called Ayurveda. Ayurveda, which means knowledge of life, is a 5,000-year-old system of medicine. Doctors at the centre say they include the curing properties of Prithvi and Vayu in their therapy. They claim to have cured ailments ranging from Parkinson's disease to cancer. One patient said she was cured of her paralysis of the lower limbs. Earlier, the problem with my body was that I didn't have any sensation in the portion below the hips. Treatments went on for a long time, but it was only after coming here and taking the mud bath and oil treatment that I returned to normal. N. Shanmugan, superintendent of the centre, said the therapy was effective for a variety of diseases. The mud bath is unique and useful, and through this we can cure over 3,000 diseases, ranging from nervous problems, liver ailments, to those of the lungs. A number of herbs are ground and added to the mixture before it's applied on patients' bodies. According to a study, the global herbal market is worth $120 billion a year, and Ayurveda's share is $60 billion. So it might be messy, but it's big business. Coming up, Hypno Yoga.
And deeper.
It's an ancient tradition in a more modern form. Called Hypno Yoga, this unique discipline does just what it says, combining hypnosis and yoga for a complete mind-body experience. Developed by hypnotherapist Ellen Hoyer, she says the two disciplines are a perfect fit.
The way yoga leads you so much more deeply into that state where the brain waves slow down and you're in alpha was so ideal for a hypnotic induction. And so I just, sewed them both together and called it Hypno Yoga.
The Hypno Yoga concept has been trademarked and is only available at the Brentwood Yoga Studio in Los Angeles. But it's already attracting a huge following.
During the hypnosis itself, you sort of see your life differently. It gives you an additional strength.
15 million Americans now participate in this ancient tradition. Many of these taking part believe yoga has real medical benefits.
The doctors are amazed how all of a sudden I actually am able to breathe and I don't have that shortness of breath anymore.
Hypno Yoga may be at the more unusual end of the exercise scale, but another intriguing hybrid is laughing meditation. It's used to relieve stress and release endorphins. who said it's not easy having a good time? Within a decade, Peru is hoping to be known as a booming tourist destination for bird watching, taking advantage of the fact it has the second largest variety of species on the planet. According to tourism experts, Peru has some 1,850 different types of birds, second only to Colombia, which has at least another 20 species. But its thick jungles and an ongoing civil war have made it difficult to get birdwatching tourism off the ground. Peru, on the other hand, has an ideal northern route for birding that crosses 6 regions from the coast to the Amazon, where birdwatchers can see more than 600 species. The northern route includes the regions of Tumbes, Piura, La Libertad and Lambayeque on the coast. Peru can also promote its rich geographic diversity to attract birdwatchers, according to Juan Carlos Diaz, the General Director of the State Tourism Organization, PROM Peru. We're calling this campaign the True Paradise of Birds. We're going to bring the birds to the people so they can learn and understand that in Peru, there's the largest quantity of species of birds in the world. There's more than 120 endemic species that you can only see in Peru. Eager to showcase their country as a bird-watching paradise, Peruvian tourist companies are putting their money where their mouth is and building eco-lodges under the forest canopy. Ornithological guidebooks are also rolling off the presses.
Peru is one of the best countries in the world for watching birds. It has the second highest total number of species, just after Colombia with 1,800 species. Northern Peru itself has about 1,400, and the route we're promoting, which is more than any other birding route in the world.
On top of those, at least 5 new species have been discovered in the space of the last year. So there's no doubt bird lovers will be flocking to Peru. And now for something exotic to boost those taste buds. An exclusive ice cream parlor is serving a dessert called Golden Opulence Sundae.
We're putting together the world's most expensive sundae, $1,000 sundae. We're gold leafing the ice cream. It's very easy to do, and did you know that you can eat gold leaf?
Stephen Bruce is the owner of Serendipity in New York. He and his staff created the extravagant Golden Opulence Sundae in celebration of the ice cream parlor's 50th anniversary. He says that despite the equally extravagant price, the phone has been ringing off the hook, with people inquiring about ordering the dish for the holidays, and adds that customers do get to keep the crystal dish as a little memento.
And the ice cream actually chills the caviar at the same time.
The nearly foot-tall dessert invited the interest of the Guinness Book of World Records, who presented the Eastside New York restaurant with a certificate for the world's most expensive ice cream sundae. Personally ensuring the safe delivery of each Golden Opulence sundae himself, Stephen insists that the ingredients that make up the rich dessert are fit for a king. And he's happy to share the recipe.
The most expensive part is the gold leafing. We take 5 balls of vanilla ice cream and cover them with sheets of gold paper. The gold paper can be edible, and it's just quite an interesting thing. It can make your insides much richer. Then we have caviar that's infused with passion fruit nectar. We have candies, fruit from Foshan, cherries from Foshan. We have the most expensive chocolate from Venezuela.
And the customers are impressed.
Really decadent. I feel a little bit guilty eating such a rich dessert, and just that it's $1,000 is decadent in and of itself. So yeah, it's really fun and very indulging.
When it comes to a solo adventure, it doesn't come much more solitary than climbing a would-be glacier in search of the ultimate thrill. The Adventure Travel Show in London offers prospective climbers a chance to see what a real-life climb would be like. But is anyone game to try the real thing?
I don't know. I think I've prefer the walking, but yeah, no. Oh, yeah, I would like to do some ice.
Now, you're mounted via some what looks like polystyrene.
Yes.
It doesn't really approximate to real life, does it? But it still looks quite strenuous.
It is quite strenuous, yeah. The real ice, I think, is harder. You have to whack it in harder.
And from being alone on the top of the world, there's the contrast of the very deep. The London School of Diving invites you to visit a world of adventure underwater. While enthusiasts are taught in groups and encouraged to look after each other, it could also be considered a rather solitary activity.
Obviously, when you're trained to dive, you're trained to dive with a buddy. So there's two of you. So you're both looking after each other. After you've been diving for a certain while, after possibly 2 full weeks of diving, then you stop worrying about the gear and worrying about your breathing, and you get more into the zen of actually diving itself. And then you can actually explore the world and you start thinking about the fish and the situations you're in rather than all the equipment and everything you've got on you. But obviously that is a factor that you have to keep in the back of your mind. You have to keep you have to worry about yourself and you also have to worry about your buddy at the same time.
But more familiar holidays also get a look in at the show. Think backpacking and you think about Australia, still a huge draw for those seeking the great outdoors. So who wants to backpack these days?
We've got a variety. We get the grey nomads right through to the 18, 25-year-olds. So the working holidays now, of course, in Australia have 2 years. You do 3 months fruit picking. You can extend your work visa for another year. So we get a lot that come over for the 2 years. They do their work. There's a lot of work around Queensland, particularly in the fruits, the banana industry, the mangoes. And then they'll spend their time and spend their money on the adventure. So that's where we come into it. Cairns, being the venture capital of the world, they're there, they can do the whitewater rafting, 4 rivers to raft on, you've got the Great Barrier Reef, you've got the outback experience, you've got the rainforest, heritage Daintree area, the crocodiles. It's a great place for adventure travel.
But recent high-profile court cases in Australia suggest travellers' safety is now a big issue. So this device, the Power Monkey, may be an essential piece of kit. It's a long-life mobile phone charger, ideal for those on their own.
One of the great things about it is for digital cameras. So say you're trying to take that life-defining shot of a leopard in the Serengeti or something, you can take a picture with it, you find your digital camera's run out of power, simply take the monkey out, plug it into the into your digital camera, and it'll give you an extra 1,600 shots, which is great. It'll also do games consoles. Sometimes when you're traveling, you want to be entertained. Your iPod, it will give you 40 hours of extra play on an iPod. It'll give you about 8 hours on a Sony PSP. And a lot of people have navigation systems, and if they run out of power, they can plug it into a GPS navigation system and they can carry on using it for over 24 hours.
Catering for all tastes and ages, the annual Adventure Travel Show reveals at least 2 major trends in modern society. While age is no barrier to wanting more excitement, there's also a growing trend towards embarking on solo adventures. Bon voyage!